Hey everyone, Sir Jellybean here, and today we have Urban Strife. Now this is a quite unique game. It's a mix of old school turn-based strategy with zombies and RPG elements thrown in for good measure. Kind of Jagged Alliance meets XCOM meets The Walking Dead, which is nice. You get a nice mix there. And it is still in early access, but it seems to have it's taken great leaps and bounds recently. So let's jump into it for all the good points and the bad points as well. So first, what is the setting? Well, the setting is a zombie apocalypse and you are in the city of Urban and you're a survivor who is immune. And basically you get rescued early on, so no really spoilers there. And you must make your way through by meeting the various factions, completing objectives, fighting back against hostile people and zombie hordes. And as you go, obviously you collect more resources, you grow your settlement, and there's like a nice progression there. Now, it is very much Jagged Alliance with how you kind of approach the story. You have a map, you can move through various locations. Not as free as Jagged Alliance, but you can definitely see the inspiration from it. And it also has that kind of same Jagged Alliance feel with how you move your characters around. They move around in real time, and then you approach things to enter combat, which is really cool. It gives you a lot of variation with how you can approach missions, how you engage various things. And I guess every fight will be different, which I really do think is great. It's nice to have that kind of freedom and strategy with things. And Jagged Alliance is obviously a fantastic game. So I think the kind of mix of that with the zombie apocalypse definitely hit a nail on the head. That's very cool. Next, the RPG elements. I think that's why a lot of people would be interested in this game. So you have your character. Obviously, I named mine Jellybean. But you basically get to pick your stats early on. You kind of get some perks as you go through. And you have strength, marksmanship, agility, all these kind of basic things. But you do level up as you fight and go through combat and as you sneak around. So there is a light RPG element, which is quite nice. It gives you some actual progression. And that actually ties in well with how you arm your characters. You can choose any weapons you want. Rifles, shotguns, pistols, bats, nail guns, Molotov cocktails, pipe bombs. There's all various weapons, and they all have the uses. It's nice that you can arm the character any way you want. It's not like, oh, you're locked into this is a rifleman, this is an LMG guy, which is kind of like how Jagged Alliance works. This is a lot free form, so the RPG elements do work well with that. And obviously, depending on your various choices, things get unlocked in the game. And depending on your skills, you can do things like intimidation or persuasion. There's lots of little options, which is, it's cool. It does have a nice RPG feel. Nothing too heavy, but it adds to the flavour of the game definitely. Now, as you go around Urban Strife, we have the graphics and the audio to go through. Now, this is definitely a weaker point of it. The game looks pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie. I know it gives a good post-apocalyptic vibe, a bit Fallout-ish, a bit Mad Max-ish, but it's not a pretty game. But it's passable. You're not really playing this game for the graphics, but it's basic. You still get blood splatter when you shoot people, you still get fire effects, but yeah, it's nothing to write home about. I would say the graphics they're passable. And that also leads me to the audio. It is a bit of a letdown. I think gun sounds don't sound very punchy. I think it's something that's on the to-do list, same with the graphics, but it definitely is lackluster. I want shotguns to have more of a feel. I want bombs to have more of a feel. I want zombies to sound more scary. I do think hopefully they'll update that, probably the next things that they're kind of working on, these quality of life things, but it's definitely an area that I felt definitely needs some love. But it's passable. You're here for the gameplay, so I guess unless you're a bit of a graphics or audio snob, it might not affect you too much, but just something to be aware of. We also have base management in the game, and this kind of ties into the real resource collection, should I say. So you have your main home base, which you can interact with various people, and they're quite cheesy characters, which I like the mayor's the kind of, southern dandy, like, oh, howdy, friend, a bit more than that. And you get like the old lady who's the cook and the old grumpy doctor, which is kind of cool. But yeah, as you collect resources, you give them in and you upgrade your settlement. I thought this was a bit tedious, to be fair. It'd be a lot easier if I just collected my gear and all the kind of resource-based stuff just kind of shot in to the base. Yeah, I think this needs to be simplified, not because I don't mind. You play a game to play, but some of it felt tedious. Some of it felt like I was searching through my own inventory, and it's like, I know food goes to the kitchen, but should I have to run over and actually give it to it? It's just a bit of a pain, especially having to put it into your stash because there's a limit to the weight and all this. So yeah, I think inventory management and base management needs revamping, but there's a lot of, you can, as long as you search and loot well, you can upgrade your base more, which obviously benefits you in the long run. So for you kind of looters, it definitely is a game for you. And obviously actually getting involved, not just winning the combat, but actually going in and finding all the various items fits into the zombie apocalypse setting, because obviously everything is extremely valuable once the zombie hordes are out and the world has fallen into disarray. And now the main meat of the game, the combat element. So obviously, combat is massive in the game, because obviously once you've actually done your inventory, you've snuck up to the enemy, you've moved in real time, it goes into this turn-based, proper old school, like Jagged Alliance or old school Xenonauts XCOM kind of game. And then what I like about it, straight away, action point system. None of this one movement, one shoot thing. It is all action points. Every gun, weapon, item, movement, whether you're crouching, standing, running, takes so many action points. This gives you so much more flexibility. So, for instance, you can stand still and fire off 2 shots and move a bit. You can run up closer and do a shotgun blast. You can heal someone. You can chuck a Molotov. Action points are the way to go, and it's so good to see that kind of old school action point system come back, and it does work really well. And obviously, we also have real ballistics in the combat, so obviously the trajectory of the rounds matters, and there's kind of real line of sight. Now, I did find sometimes you'd be on the corner of a wall where your guy could peek out, and it just seemed to just hit the wall, and the eye sometimes shot through the wall, so there's a lot of work to do on that, but the foundation is fantastic. There's also body part targeting, like actually aiming, and obviously at optimal range with like shotguns, you can easily nail people with headshots. It is a bit wonky at times at range. Sometimes you think you're going to get a good hit, but these games always have a bit of a percentage-based kind of hit chance. So, but it's decent combat. Now, there was one major issue in combat, it's the wait times. Sometimes enemy turns seem smooth. Sometimes you're waiting for like up to a minute for one guy to just move and shoot your shotgun. And I don't know if it's an optimization issue or they're just something they need to kind of iron out, but it definitely took away from the immersiveness. But yeah, and also another flexibility in combat, there's melee. It's not just range. It's nice that you can go up and bash someone's head in with a bat or stab a zombie through the face. So there's lots of melee is very varied, and you can kind of choose how you approach it. I kind of went for like a more tactical. Everyone's got a different weapon. 2 guys with shotguns, one with a crossbow, one with a rifle, and everyone's got a melee thing, and then a couple of grenades and molotovs for good measure. But I guess if you want to go full horde mode and go baseball bats and beat people to death, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. Chuck some smoke grenades and just get stuck in. So that is really cool about that, and I really liked the I think the combat was fun. I definitely once I got a hang of it as well. It's a little bit strange at first, but once you're into it, like dealing with zombies is very different from humans as well. So definitely a learning curve there, but very cool. Now a little bit more on the bad. There was quite a few like bugs and glitches in it. I found one was when I had to kill some move shiners, and it just didn't acknowledge that it happened, and I reloaded it twice and did it again, and it just didn't happen. It wasn't game breaking, you can get around that, but it was annoying. And sometimes, I don't know, the game is unpolished because I know it's early access, but you're paying £29.50, so you do expect a bit more quality in some areas. I know they've got a roadmap and there's a long way to go still, but sometimes I just felt like it was just on the edge of being really fun, and then something would happen or a glitch would happen or a long wait time, and I just think, and it didn't encourage me to play as much as I wanted to. And the thing is, I should not be able to put a game down. I should be there for 3 or 4 hours going, right, I need to get stuff done. I'm playing this too much. I would do an hour or 2 of Urban Strife and then come off. So I think it's definitely, there's a lot of good foundation there, but it just needs to be perfected a bit more. And obviously, we also have the roadmap now. Bear in mind, this is roadmap pictures, the only one I could find, so I've had to enlarge it. So it's a bit hard to read on your screen, so I'm going to go through it now. If they can hit this roadmap, the game would be worth the money. As of right now, I think it's more of a wish list and wait, unless you're really into these kind of games. It's fun, but there's still a bit of a way to go. Now, let's go through the roadmap anyway. Short term, they want random encounters, faction workbench crafting, new armor sets, combat arena minigame, stealth improvements, which would be pretty good, Act 2 maps, and Act 2 RPG. So, there's some quite good short-term goals. Mid-term, scavenger mechanic, new weapons, more hero skins, more NPC skins, game options / general improvements, new animations, Act 2 maps continued, and Act 2 RPG continued. And long-term, endgame mechanics, endgame maps, endgame RPG, alternative ending, modding and localization, and then ongoing, obviously, bug fixes, RPG stuff, all the ongoing stuff. But yeah, the roadmap does look good. The thing is, it's if they can deliver that. Because I don't mind early access, but it's a little bit of a price one for early access. You can buy full games for £30, especially if they're on sale. So I do think if you're really into the kind of, Jagged Alliance meets zombies, you're into the XCOM style thing, you like post-apocalyptic, it definitely up your street. If you're a bit on the fence, do wishlist it. I think it's a fantastic foundation for a game. It's just got a little bit of a way to go. But yeah, I'm definitely glad I played it, and I will be waiting for the 1.0 release whenever that will be. And I think I'll definitely revisit that and do a full review at 1.0, because I think there's a lot of room to improve, and I think we could definitely see some really cool stuff. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this kind of early access review. It was fun to play the game. I appreciate getting a copy. Still, I'd say it's more of a wish list than a buy at the moment, but do have a look around for other reviews, have a look into the game, see some gameplay, and see if it's for you. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you guys have a fantastic day.